John, you're very well respected in the field of property law. What do you make of the new changes of the legislation coming in?
I think it's very helpful that after so many years, 64 years since the housing law came in, 40-odd years since the regulation of undertakings law came in, that there is a reassessment of these fundamental legislative provisions which affect the lives of all of us.
How long overdue are these changes?
It's hard to say whether they're overdue. Really, it's more of an evolution than a revolution, what is taking place here. But to put all in one law rather than to have two completely separate laws is clearly a good thing.
Now, there's been some very strict rules around accommodation of occupation affecting businesses. Now, how will this change?
Well, there's some opportunities here to have clarity. In the past, what we've had is that the Housing Minister had applied concessions in respect of the occupation of property. You can have a company-owned property where under the law only people with housing qualifications could occupy, but he's allowed by concession that members of staff can occupy. Now these sort of concessions will be within the full legal framework now and be able to be seen on the register.
Now, if we look at the rules around, say, buying houses, that has changed, specifically J category, whereas previously, under the old legislation, you could only buy a property through your company. That's now changing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This, again, is an evolutionary process. Originally, a J category employee had to have a house owned by his employer. He was then allowed to buy one in a company which he owned himself, and now he will be able to buy in his own name.
And when will these changes be introduced?
The expectation is at the end of this month, the end of next month. 29th of April is the expected date. The clarification is yet to come when the regulations are going to be ready, but that's the timescale which is being aimed at.
So quite a lot for people to take on in potentially a short amount of time. I mean, if anybody does have any queries about how the law will affect them, what would you suggest they do?
Well, there is a lot. This is fundamental legislation. Clearly, we're very happy at Appleby to entertain any inquiries. I think people should find out from professional advisors where they stand in respect to this new legislation.